Hello class, in this lecture we will see how the L Jetronic system works. In the previous lecture we gone through the K Jetronic system, which was a continuous injection system in which mechanical and electronic parts come together in order to have a precise metering of the field with respect to the amount of air or mass of air introduced inside the combustion chamber. Here we are completely based on the electronic monitoring and actuating system, which is controlled by a ECU completely. In case of the K-Jetronic, there was a primary pressure regulator is there. There was accumulator. There was pressure distributor block was there. Okay, so those are the mechanical system which we have employed in case of the KE Jetronics. Here we are completely using electronic system and electronic controlling unit. Okay, so first of all we must know how the fail or travel in case of the L-Jetronics. Even though we must know the what are the part here we are employing in case of the L-Jetronics. So here number of parts is there. Okay, so this is our engine. This is a cooling jacket. In the cooling jacket, here we are employing two kind of sensors, such as the engine coolant temperature sensor, and another is the engine or we can say time based temperature switch. Okay, time based, or we can say thermotime switch, so which is control the starter valve. Okay, that is not starter valve. We know, as we seen, starter valve is nothing but the cold starting injector. Okay, so similar to KE Jetronics, here also we are using the thermotimes, which is controlling a starter valve, as well as controlling auxiliary uh, air device. Okay, which is bypassing the throttle plate. Okay, so another sensors like here, another actuator like injector here use the here whatever the injector we are using in case of the L-Jetronic, it is not a continuous injection type. It having a time injection, we can say it having the pulse injection on the basis of pulse width. Okay, so on the basis of pulse width, the time of injection is decided on and off of the injection is decided. Okay, so this is this switch here we can see the two type of lines are coming to the injector. This is a fluid line, okay, through which fuel supposed to enter, and this line is nothing but the electric line or the pulse line, which is coming from the ECU. Okay, so there are number of lines are coming to the ECU and coming out from the ECU. This arrow indicates the input from the sensors, and this outgoing line from the ECU indicates the pulses going to the actuators. Okay, after that is a starter valve. Starter valve is same as that of the KE Jetronics, which we are using in case the KE Jetronic also. Okay, here also the two lines are there. One is the hydraulic line, or we can say through which fuel is coming into the starter valve, and electric line through which, or pulse line through which we can supposed to send a electric signal to switch on the starter valve. After throttle position sensor is there. Throttle position sensor similar to the KE Jetronics is located on the throttle valve. Okay, in case of the KE Jetronic, there was one more potentiometer or uh, pot type sensor was used, which is located on the air sensor plate. So here no any kind of air sensor plate or moving part is present, except this throttle valve. So here only one kind of pot type sensor is used, that is throttle position sensor, which only give the information regarding to position of throttle, which is actuated by the driver. After that, there is a air sensor plate. Instead of air sensor plate, here is a baffle plate is used. Okay, this is a baffle plate which is used to measure a air quantity which is introduced inside the combustion chamber. So with respect to this baffle plate, there is a one needle is going here, which is similar to potentiometer. So with respect to this such a moment of this baffle plate, this needle are supposed to move here in order to have variable resistance value, or with respect to that variable resistance value, the current flowing through this circuit is vary, and that current is calibrated with respect to the amount of air inducted into the system. Okay, after that, this is a auxiliary air device is used. Auxiliary air device is similar to the KE Jetronics, which is only actuated during the cold starting problem. So this is the auxiliary air devices which is used, okay, which is bypassing the throttle valve. After that, there is an oxygen sensor is used. This 14 number is a lambda sensor of the oxygen after the exhaust manifold. Okay, there is a engine or we can say engine speed sensor is used, which is either located on the crankshaft, either located on camshaft, or maybe located on into the distributor. Here distributor is located on the block. So this is cam in block construction. So this distributor shaft or distributor gear is coupled with the crankshaft with the gear ratio of 1:2. Okay, so for the two revolution of the crankshaft, this distributor gear should be rotated twice, only once for the two revolution of the crankshaft. Okay, the distributor gear should be rotated at once. So the 1:2 gear ratio is there. Okay, so 1:2 gear ratio is there. In case of whenever the distributor is located on the head, that time it is having a meshing with the camshaft gear. So the ratio of rotation is 1:1. So for the one rotation of the camshaft, distributor should be rotated once. So this is the thing which through which we can supposed to sense the speed of the engine. Okay, so this is also input for our ECU. Okay, engine speed sensor. After that, here this small sensor is nothing but the inlet air temperature sensor IAT, which sends the temperature of incoming air into the system. Okay, after that, there is a pressure regulator is located. Okay, this is the 4 number is nothing but your we can say distributor pipe, or the common rail also you can say. Through this distributor pipe, the hydraulic into this distributor pipe, hydraulic pressure is maintained, or the fluid pressure is maintained up to the 3 to 4 bar. Okay, so 3 to 4 bar pressure is maintained in order to send of pressurized fuel into the injector, that is service injector, as well as into the starter valve, or we can say cold start injector. Okay, so this is the input coming to the injector, service injector, and input coming to the cold start injector. After that, to maintain the pressure of this pressure regulator or the common rail up to the working temperature working pressure 3 to 4 bar, the pressure regulator is used. This is a pressure regulator. Okay, this pressure regulator is connected to the one end of the pressure, it is connected to the fuel tank, another end is connected to the inlet manifold. Okay, and at the center it is connected to the this distributor rail or the common rail, you can say. Before that, there is a air filter is located, and before the air filter, the fuel pump is located. So through fuel pump, fuel supposed to be sucked by that fuel, forwarded to the fuel filter. Through fuel pump, it is entered to the common rail. Till the pressure is not reaches 3 to 4 bar, this pressure regulator will not start the backflow to the fuel tank. Okay, so once the pressure is reaches, this fuel pressure regulator valve supposed to allow of fuel flow to back to the fuel tank, and it is similarly maintain the fuel pressure into the line which is travel towards the starter and starter valve or to the service injector. So from this point to this point, till this point, towards